Okay, we are live. Hi, guys. It's Ona, Dr. Vicky. Welcome to Mystic Sisters Cosmic Happy Hour.
Hold on, let me get a swig.
What a new moon.
Part one. Part one.
Honestly, the biggest thing I think was just the sun like trying to purge its way out of Leo because all kinds of stuff was going on in the neighborhood yesterday. It was crazy. And it was right at this, like, the moon was probably void of course already.
I don't know. I will check. Let me check.
Hi, Connie. Hi, Zenda. Hi, Sleuth Jill. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. We were looking at your comments, and we already got a couple of WTF questions on the docket here. So we're
hello, Mary, Paula, Alexandra, Jill, Zendal. You might have said that already. Sorry. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. All right, let me see. What's today?
Today's Saturday.
I know. It's new moon Saturday. New moon Saturday.
No, the moon was not void of course.
No, it's not.
No. Yeah, it was really, really interesting how if you watched Moon Shadows, I hope you did on Dr. Vicky's channel, how we're talking about listening to your gut, and that is sort of the like follow your sacral, your solar plexus kind of energy.
Solar plexus and sacral chakra, which is where the real action happens, I think.
The Virgo. And you've been having some gut, like, wake up gut moments. And I certainly have had some wake up gut moments myself.
Yeah, a little bit of a roller coaster on the gut.
Yeah.
The last couple of days. Yeah. Kind of not concerning, but an interesting thing to watch and experience.
Well, this is when we're saying, pay attention to those things about your body, because there's some things that you need to modify. And there's just some things that, that you will find out you need to modify because your body tells you so. I had an interesting event. I had bought some oyster mushrooms at the farmer's market, and I will not let a shred of it go bad. And they started, it's like little orange background, and I'm like, oh, I gotta eat these. So I made the whole pound. And I ate it yesterday and today in salads and sandwiches, everything I could think of. This morning, I woke up listening to like a Farisa organ, the kind of Munsters theme song music, where he's playing like the organ piano sort of thing. And it didn't occur to me until later that when there's a YouTube channel, somebody hooks up a mushrooms to a synthesizer, and it makes that sound, bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong. I'm like, I'm literally listening to my gut right now, singing the Munsters theme song. New moon. Yeah. So I was a day short of those mushrooms probably going bad. Because, I'm like, yep, I literally listened to my gut or heard it singing.
Well, mushrooms are good. They're good for the gut. They're good for the brain. They got a lot of B vitamins. Good for the nervous system. Our nervous system with this, my nervous system feels fried, and I'm not doing all that much. I mean, I'm working all the time, but like I don't feel like I'm doing anything extraordinary. It's the stuff that I always do, and I've had to take a number of naps in the middle of the day. The last couple of days, just to even Michael has been taking naps in the middle of the day. Mm-hmm. And even if he just lays down for a bit and then gets up, I think you just have to get horizontal with this energy, because it's just so it's Uranus in Gemini, I think, because
that's where
it's pretty much just frying us. And we're going to have to get used to that because it's going to be there for 7 years. So this is just a little test case.
And this was the square between the new moon and Uranus. So it's like when you get used to it, tell us when we're supposed to get used to it and when we can just like get relaxed, because I'm not even going to go for a walk if next time Uranus and the moon and the sun square each other. It's scary.
Well, all of it in Mercury ruled signs, with Mercury in Leo, fresh out of his retrograde, right?
Yep.
So it's kind of like, if you want to do an edible and you don't realize that it's not candy, and instead of having like one, you have like 4 because they're so tasty, and then you realize that you just had 4 of them, and then you have to sort of write it out. That's kind of what this energy feels like. I feel like I instead of having 1, I had 4, but I didn't have any, and I still feel that way.
We got a lot of nervous system hits here in the comment section too. People are definitely, it's a nervous system thing. And I'll tell you what, I stumbled upon some guy passed out in his car yesterday with too much of a thing, walking giblets around this time in the evening. And I saw somebody standing on the sidewalk looking, and I see somebody passed out in the car. The car's running. There's 2 flat tires. And I look at this guy and I said, "Do you know him?" And he goes, "No, I'm from Purdue. I just moved here from Indiana." I said, "Oh, welcome to Chicago." Call 911 right now and hold my dog. And the guy's breathing. He's really yellow. So this, like, he's been drinking a long time.
Yeah.
Passed on the car, reached in and took the keys out. The car's not running. He is going nowhere. Nowhere. Yeah. I'm like, my God, I didn't see that coming because I'm focused on the dog, the heat, and a place for him to take a shit on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I look up and there's this whole thing, and I stayed with the drunk guy.
Being the nurse that you are.
Of course, he had on a watch. He's driving a Mercedes. There's a wallet. There's money on the seat. I'm not going to leave him. He'll get pillaged. So I stayed there.
You want the EMTs to at least know who he is, right?
I stayed there, and the fire department came pretty fast, and they're like, "Oh, thank you. That's our job to take the keys out." I said, "I had to. You weren't here." If he woke up and realized what happened.
Yeah. Well, that's a very Virgo new moon of you. Oh, no. So I have this Mystic Sisters cards laid out, and I'm going to have you pick. So let me just do a quick run over once. Okay, tell me when, sweetie.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, pick, or go ahead. Oh, okay. Tell me when to stop.
Now.
We have Persephone. Uh-oh. With all her skulls, standing among the skulls. Persephone. That is the Mystic Sister card for the week. I will tell you what it says.
That's really interesting.
All right. Just give me a moment here. I'm slow, man. I'm just slow. That trip to New Jersey kicked my butt, but it always does. Takes me a week to recover from those trips.
Oh my gosh. Just being in the car for that long. Thank you, Mary. I would not have left that poor drunk man by himself in the middle.
So this is interesting. It says resilience, of which we know much about, adjustments. That's how I spent my career, right? And faith, how I spend my life. Okay. Persephone is the queen of the underworld, the guardian of the dead, and the daughter of the harvest goddess Demeter. One day when young Persephone was picking flowers, Hades, the lord of the underworld, saw her and became overwhelmed with desire. He abducted Persephone and brought her back to the underworld. He then offered her pomegranates. Having eaten the fruit of the dead, she became bound to him forever. She would ever after rule over the underworld for the 3 winter months of the year and would return in the spring to be with Demeter. Persephone symbolizes the unconscious and hidden reality that is full of riches and promises. She reminds us of our resilience in the face of a challenge. Her message is to trust that you have the resources within to make the most of any situation if you allow yourself access to them. So this looks like a pretty intense week ahead.
Yeah, and that's what we picked last week, the horses, overcoming obstacles. Interesting.
So we have to be resilient and take naps. That's what I think.
More resilience. It's
Honey,
almost it's almost pomegranate season. Those are my faves.
I love pomegranates. It's so good for you. If you just have a little pomegranate juice every day, uh, it's like a shot of, it's like the best antioxidant you can have, right? And it doesn't have a lot of sugar. It's not very sweet.
Yeah,
So
when
it's
it's
not
not
a
sweetened, yeah.
problem.
It's really expensive though.
It is. I buy it. It's like, I don't know, $10, $11 for
Wow.
the big one. But it lasts because I always mix it with other stuff anyway. I don't like to drink juice because it's got a lot of sugar. So I'll
Yeah,
mix it with water. I'll mix it with seltzer, and I call it soda.
yeah. I dilute a lot of stuff too. I don't like it too sweet. I do a lot of the Mio water. That's what I drink. Is the energy or the orange tangerines my favorite. So I don't have to. It helps wash down whatever kind of weird fucking flavors coming in. I can't
Well,
just
that's
drink
just
plain water.
synesthesia. That's just synesthesia. Oh, oh, Cindy's looking forward to a cold snap. Yeah, it's actually beautiful here. It's been beautiful here the last couple of
Yeah.
days.
We're
And
supposed to get cooler. It's going to be like in the 70s next week, which is cooler than normal, like a taste of fall. And I'm good with it because he can walk longer outside and I don't have to have the air conditioners running all the time, which is really expensive now,
yeah, yeah. hmm
right?
because they're taking care of what's that called? When all the prices go up. Oh my God.
Tariffs.
Well, yeah, well, no, there's inflation.
Oh, yeah.
Inflation.
Nanette says it's 65 in Michigan. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's
That's
lovely. It's lovely
perfect.
here, actually.
And you could hear the crickets aren't as active, like they're slowing down. So it's not going to be too hot, which is nice.
Yeah,
My electricity bill went up 3 times.
we've had the cicada like from the morning. The cicadas are cicadaing or whatever the hell they're doing, flapping their wings, making those
Good
noises.
business.
Yeah.
So that was my part of my new moon experience. And then I got home and I'm going to take a shower. It's Friday. And I get in my robe and I hear all the sirens, but there's more. There's something going on. And I look out and there's like a bunch of fire trucks. And I open the window and I open the screen and I poke my head out in my robe like Gladys Kravitz. There's fire trucks in my driveway. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? What is going on? Fire trucks, like weird squad trucks, bizarre breathing apparatus trucks. I sent you the pictures, and it was an electrical fire in an apartment next door.
In the not your building, next door's
Not
building.
my building. It was in the building next door, which was built in like 1927, right? And something caught fire in an apartment. The guy wasn't home. I was getting these weird cards. The guy wasn't even home. So now there's like all this investigation because his insurance and the building's insurance, like all this stuff is going on. I waited until the stretchers went into the ambulance before I took a shower. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere.
So there was actually people who got overcome by smoke in the other building?
I think that there were some people sitting outside and that had to stay outside for a while, but it was, they think it was electrical. I wrote down cable fire.
Well, you
And
said you smelled cables, right?
it was, yeah, definitely plastic, but they, the hazmat team comes in and they test the air and they, how volatile it is and if people can stay or not. They have to measure toxic substances.
The VOCs, as it were.
You could, yes, absolutely, 100%. Yep, plastic. You could walking by and they can't do anything because they have to take pictures of every little blade of grass because it's an insurance thing.
Oh,
I didn't do anything after that. I didn't even light the candle for the new moon until this morning when I could see it and I wouldn't walk away from it. That's how my like new moon evening was. It was just nuts. So
mine was early to bed. I haven't been able to stay up past 9:30.
Yeah, I go bed early. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I get up early though, so
everybody looks like they're having like good weather.
Yes, except for Alexandra, where it's 100, I think she said.
Oh my God!
Where it's humid. It's humid in LA today. Is that common for LA to be humid? I know it's normally hot, but humid? That's kind of weird, right?
Mm-mm.
Too hot to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do that.
I get that. We don't have AC in the house. So I just put the fans on and just, but I do have good cross ventilation in the room. So it's not too bad.
I prefer that. I prefer the outside air over the air conditioning, but if I need it, I need it. I got no mess.
Oh gosh.
107 in Nevada. My gosh. Seems like everybody was having, how is this Aaron thing running? I let that story sort of slip. The hurricane, it seems like it's not making a lot of energy.
Well, it's interesting about Erin is that we had a rainstorm before Erin coming from your direction, and it actually kept Erin further offshore than it would have been. So it didn't actually have like a landfall per se, but the tides, it was roiling up the whole Atlantic Ocean. The rip tides were like unbelievable. And I was watching pictures of it, and it's like they look like lines of energy. So I feel like Erin was the mother ocean, like roiling. So a lot of like cold water comes up with that.
Yeah.
It was almost like Mother Nature was trying to cool herself off.
I wonder if there's some kind of shift because we're getting close to the nodes and eclipse season I took a picture of these sailboats today. They were like this. I'm like, one of them's going to tip over. They were almost on their sides. And I look out and I zoom in. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're all like this all over the water. It must be really, really windy. It's windy, but I can't imagine. Oh my God. I'd be spraying vomit all over the deck.
That's why you're not a sailor, darling.
It was really crazy windy. We did lose. There was a jet skier that got swallowed up by Lake Michigan over the weekend or yesterday, Thursday, and they're looking for somebody in the Highland Park area right now. There's some crazy churning things, and it's got to be that the nodes we're getting closer to the eclipse kind of energy.
Well, and then we have the full moon eclipse coming up in Pisces, which rules the oceans.
Yeah.
So, right, and then beginning in what's today? Today's the 23rd. So in 8 days, Saturn's going to go back into Pisces.
That's right. September 1st.
Right. I think that we might have a very active hurricane season this year.
Sounds like that is the plan. But maybe we would know more about hurricane season now. I guess the winds are nuts. The water is crazy. So I'm interested in just like how that sentence is going to come together, Do we have a WTF question we can entertain?
We do. I right at the beginning, I saw 3 of them. One of them was make Melania come again. Wondering if Gavin wore that hat. I'd have to say probably not. I'm sure his staff made up that meme with AI.
I have that picture. Thank you for bringing that up, Alexandra. I did send Vicky that picture because I giggled really hard when I saw it. But you can tell that it's even poorly sort of photoshopped. Like they just sort of like are purposefully making it look like a bad Photoshop, I think, just to sort of inflate the parody. Right.
Yeah, and just make sure people don't actually think that he wore that.
Yeah, but
because people do assume, right?
I loved it.
I did. I chuckled. The one with him like all muscled out, holding a little kitty cat, patting a little pussy cat. He's a guy that doesn't have to grab. They'll just crawl into his lap if you just.
They love him now. They love him now. Honestly, yeah. The trolling is brilliant, and it's like exactly on point. It's supposed to be made to look ridiculous because that's how we see it. That's how we see all their stuff. Is like, oh my God, that is so bad. That's so poorly done. Buddy, I got you.
So I did pull some cards on making Melania come again because that's the kind of question that interests me. I got the star.
Ooh, somebody else.
I got the star card. I got the page of wands.
Yep.
So that's a message.
He's younger than her.
The Knight of Cups.
Ooh.
Right? These are all quite romantic, actually.
He's a singer.
The 3 of Pentacles.
He's overseas.
Right? So that's staff. I think that's his staff. And then the Lover's card.
Ooh.
He might get a call.
She's got a side piece.
Of course she does. Of course she does.
I would. Whoa.
I know.
God.
I know.
I had one that I'm kind of like waffling over. Maybe later.
A side piece? Are you talking waffling?
No.
I didn't hear about this yet.
A WTF question. He's my sidekick.
Yes.
He's my side piece.
He takes all your attention. There was also a question about Kilmar, who is now free, but ICE is saying that they could send him to Uganda. I don't know under what.
Oh, that's just one of those weird stories that wants us to follow it to its little.
Well, I'm gonna pick. Let's pick some cards to see if Kilmar is safe.
A big cicada just flew onto the screen out there.
Ooh, cicada. Let me see. Cicada medicine.
What is the card you're pulling for? If he's safe?
Yeah, if he's.
I know what he looks like too.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever going to feel safe.
I know.
Ever. is he physically safe?
Okay.
He's very guarded.
Yeah.
I got 4 of Cups. I would be too. You could sense that right away just thinking about him. He's got that sort of coveting his vital organ posture.
It's almost like he's holding his breath.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think he's safe in terms of physically safe in his environment.
Yeah, I got the Judgment card, the 5 of Cups, so that's the time he's lost and what he's gone through. The High Priestess, there's still some things we don't know yet. The 9 of Swords, he's having nightmares.
Yeah.
And I got the 3 of Pentacles, which I liked as a card to end up with, because I feel like there are people watching out for him. Like
Yeah.
they're not going to let anything happen to this guy.
And the 3 of Pentacles could be resources too.
Right.
You know, we focus on things like, oh my gosh, she must be so guarded. But you know what? They're, oh my gosh, she must be so protected.
I'm sure there's, and then there's always, he has his lawyers working for him. I mean, he really has a big case against the United States. So
Carrie wants to know who we're talking about, and I can't pronounce his name properly.
Omar Abrego Garcia, the gentleman from Maryland with the autistic son, who was taken by ICE by mistake and sent down to CCOT, and that's when the guy from Van Holland went down to talk to him. And then they said they can't bring him back. Then they brought him back, but then they put him in jail. And then the judge said, you can get out of jail, and he said, I want to stay in jail, because he was afraid ICE was going to grab him again and send him somewhere else. Welcome to America, folks. It's ridiculous. It's such an abomination. And I think the danger is to feel like this is normal. This is absolutely not normal.
Sharon Ann said they made up charges against him to try to deport him again. So I think, yeah, that he's being targeted and bullied, right?
Yeah.
And he is supposed to be made an example of, and that's what I think they're doing. I wanted to know if they were coming to Chicago, like he said. Yeah, they're next, because I'll reach in. I'm going to reach in for that one.
Yeah, Trump said after he takes care of DC, Chicago is next. His next stop.
But the way he said it, it's like he forgot how to even pronounce the word as soon as he said it. Like, I don't take him seriously, because nothing that he's saying makes sense. Like, you could just see he's kind of a doddering. He's the guy, like, you put your arm around, okay, Mr. Trump, it's time for dinner, and just kind of like turn him and push him. He's not making connections.
Well, I think he remembers his enemies. I'm sure he's got a target on Pritzker, because anybody who's speaking up against him. Plus, Obama's from Chicago, so that's enough. That's enough for him.
He never once came here one time. The first admin and now. Never once. Because we hate you, Donnie. We don't want you here. So is he going to attempt to do this in Chicago? And you know what? If I pulled a card on it, I didn't commit it, because I committed myself to a plan. My plan is to buy a big bunch of glitter and go down there. This is going to, if it's here, I'm going to be very actively involved in this. do this with this. I'm going to get mean. All kinds of mean.
They're going to be pulling glitter out of their underwear for days and days.
They will always remember the glitter bombs I'm going to drop. I don't like glitter. I know it makes a mess, but that is my plan. Lots of glitter. And I will have my personal ID either with a Sharpie, my numbers, or my ID taped to me just in case. But I'm definitely in the door on this one because I don't like that. Not here. Okay. You think you're going to come here? We'll throw hot dogs at you. We will whip you with wild leeks and glitter.
Oh, goodness gracious.
What'd you get? High priestess. Secret.
Secret?
She has been coming up all day.
Yeah, she came up on the last question too, right?
Everything I've been pulling, I've been doing personal reads, like me, the dog, that kind of thing. The high priestess, I'm like, this card is charged. And this is the first card I pulled, is the high priestess.
Right. So that could be, that's secrets revealed even this week. Okay. We do have the eclipse. We're moving into eclipse season. I think that especially next month is going to be very revelatory. And it's going to cause a lot of problems. I got the 2 of Wands. So there's a plan, something, right? There's a plan there. And then I get Judgment. Okay. That's another 2, interestingly enough. But then I get the 9 of Pentacles. So I feel like if it does happen, Chicago will be ready for it. The Sun, it'll be on the nightly news. Everybody will see what's going on. And then I get the 5 of Cups. So there will be some losses, some problems, but a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, a lot of anger. What else did you get?
I started with the high priestess there and the Queen of Pentacles. So there's probably somebody with a plan. The 2 of Swords. So that could be that we're just in kind of prepping for this, or, was that a teaser? Should we kind of follow this narrative? Temperance, hold on, hang in there. 8 of Cups.
Okay, good.
Right? 8 of Cups is good. Ace of Pentacles. And the Death card. So if something happens, maybe, but
they might have to change their plans on that.
They're going to have to change their plans because we're not taking this. I'm telling you, not here.
I heard that they said, or Trump said, if Mondami wins in New York, they're going to deport him.
Oh my God. See how these stories just, those things that we were talking about in dementia, you have these little windows of vignettes that you play in your head that don't really exist. And he's got no filter, a lot of stuff going on there. It looks like he's refractory to all the diuretics they're giving him. He doesn't even stand up anymore.
I'm surprised that they even let him talk, honestly.
And they stand there like, oh my God, look at the reaction. Don't watch him talking.
Right.
Watch the reaction around him.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Like they don't know.
There was another WTF question about mail-in voting.
Okay.
They're trying to... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Lisa wanted to know what deck I'm using. It's the Klimt deck. Are they going to...
Is that Klimt in honor of Melania's orgasms? Never mind.
I honestly have used these. This was my work deck that I brought with me to the hospital, and I did a lot of political. It's sort of designated as kind of the political thing.
Sorry, I dropped some cards. Things are just flying out of my hands today.
So all he's doing is throwing out ideas about how he's going to try and, finagle the votes, right? So he's like, well, we're going to drop the mail in. You already did.
They already messed up the mail, and that's how
They already messed up the mail in.
They already messed up the mail. Last election, there were all these ballots that were thrown in the garbage by the mail people because he's got his guy in there. DeJoy's still, right? Isn't DeJoy still in there? Although I thought he was leaving. I don't know if he ever left. That guy. That guy there. Sorry.
Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff, and I don't follow it, and it doesn't bother me because to me, they're all side stories that are just he's just talking out of his ass. He's writing a lot of checks his ass can't cash. That's just going south soon. And they did mess with mail-in voting.
I think fours. I get what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm getting a lot of fours. No.
I get that they'll try, but they're not going to be able to. They'll try to do that.
Yeah. But, they're going to save it. They're not going to try and backhandedly send it back to you because your signature doesn't match exactly. That happened a lot.
Oh, yeah. Right. But not in every state. Not in every state. That happened in Georgia, I think.
Yeah. I have the Four of Pentacles. And look at her. She's looking at like the ballots or the pentacles are shining in and looking at how she's got a plan. Right? With somebody. I don't know who the King of Cups is. It might be that DeJoy person. And then the Four of Cups. Knight of Pentacles. So I think they're holding on to them. Like this might be a delivery of it. And then the Two of Pentacles. All these pentacles to me are like ballots. They're going to try to balance them in a different direction. A Strength card and the Knight. I'm sorry, the Page of Pentacles. So you see just by his gesture how I would read that card. We hold on to this idea of we still have the mail-in ballots at the end.
I got the Queen of Wands.
DeJoy's gone. Okay.
The Empress.
Oh. Okay.
The Seven of Swords. So it's like it's in broad daylight. Then the Two of Pentacles.
Yes.
And then the Queen of Pentacles. So we started with the Queen and we ended with the Queen. I feel like queens are the sustainers.
Yep.
Right? They're the stability. And so I don't think that they're going to be able to do it. And there's like places like California and Oregon. I think Oregon is all mail-in ballots. So
Mary Beth just made a good point. Excuse me. They can't end mail-ins because active military couldn't vote, and active military should vote.
Well, active military were the votes in North Carolina that they tried to take away from the woman who won the Senate, not Senate. She was a judge, whatever, Supreme Court, I guess, whatever court that is, yeah.
The new Postmaster General is David Steiner. I don't know. I honestly don't follow it. Like I said, if I don't go down all these rabbit holes that are offered to me, I do better. Let me take care of this, whatever this dog needs here, because I can't believe it.
Yes. They do. Postal workers do really work hard. Sometimes I think the postal workers are like being in the army because they sacrifice their bodies for their work.
Oh man.
I had a lot of postal employees in my practice, all with messed up shoulders and hips.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah. So there's a lot of things I'm not going to follow because there's no way that I'm going to let that tear me away from eating, good food and feeling good and being happy and laughing. If I'm following all these weird little stories about this, I am pulling a card a day for Donnie. Just the major arcanas. I have set on the side. I mentioned it before. And today's card was the Lovers.
So choices.
A big choice. He's got a big choice to make. A life-changing choice he's got to make.
Paula Z says North Carolina cures the ballots. That's when they check the signatures. Yeah.
Okay.
You knew it was somewhere down south. Hedgehog. And leave it to Beaver. Uh-oh.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I just saw he had. I think they're talking about Smokey Eye Psychopath. He had Hegseth with him. Oh no, they're talking about Trump. I think had Hedgehog and Leave It next to him. I can't look at her without seeing the Cheeto dust around her mouth now. It's terrible.
I didn't see it, but I heard about that. You told me about that.
Yeah.
What I did notice about Vance, and this is important because he is working it little by little. He's starting to get a little gray and showing it, making him look a little older. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm like, oh, you're letting the gray grow in. Huh. Okay. I see where you're going.
I have to believe that's like a natural thing because he's got to deal with Trump every day. I would be bald if I.
That's right, and I think it is a natural thing also, but he's also likely to take on a more to wear the eyeliner and to highlight things about him. If something isn't, he could hide the gray. I hide the gray. But there's something about that and showing it, allowing it to show like that I'm thinking, oh yeah, he's getting ready for movement. He's got a very strong will. I can't even tell you.
He's very ambitious.
Yeah.
His Mars is in Scorpio. He's dangerous.
He is really, that lure is just because he's getting his own physical body is looking different. Yeah. So he's getting ready for this. Sleuth Jill says she sees a 25th Amendment. I see just a boom. I see him just go flat line.
So I think something's going to come up. The Epstein files are being, what do you call it? They're going to do that, I think, this week. Or they're going to the Congress or something. Of course, they'll all be redacted or his name is out. But all those FBI people who had to take the name out, they'll leak.
Yeah. Everything that's going on is definitely sort of detoured the Epstein story, right? Do you think that they've done a good job detouring that? Or that's another thing. It just pisses me off to say, Ghislaine, or whatever her fucking name is, said nothing. That no, he's not there. I don't want to start getting into.
They had recordings of her voice saying that he was always a gentleman around her. I'm like, are we talking about the same person? Are we talking about the same person?
That's why I can't. The hypocrisy, I don't bullshit around. And all I hear is bullshit. Rolled in crap, covered in shit.
And you smell it all too. Because of your synesthesia. You're like,
That happened this week too. And then the guys the next day, like a couple of buildings down, dug and put a manure and straw, just like a petting zoo smell. Oh, like, there we are. Okay, there's like, check that day off. And I wrote down the address and that they were fixing it ahead of time. So that's what happens when I sleep with the windows open. I know what's happening down the street. Yeah, there's not going to be anything. It's hard to wrap your head around it, but we're not going to see anything until this guy's big, beautiful obituary is posted.
Zinnia asked a WTF question that's worth taking a look at. She wants to know if NATO will join with Ukraine to fight Putin.
If NATO will join with Ukraine to fight Putin. Let me use this deck. How many cards are you going to pull?
I have 5 here.
Okay. No, buddy, not right now. Teresa, we don't think so, but I'll let you know when I learn that. Is he dead yet?
Oh.
That's nasty. You're bad. That's bad.
He might smell like he is, but
that's okay. Go ahead and share your thoughts. That's what I like. The first card's a 4 of Swords.
That could be a truce of some sort, a ceasefire maybe.
Yeah, if it is, they're blowing smoke straight up. There's no ceasefire.
Oh, no.
No, I don't think so. I do see the 3 of Cups, and I want to leave that as the last card. I pulled 6. I'm sorry, the 3 of Pentacles. And it does look like they're lifting in this deck. This is the Leonardo da Vinci deck. The 3 of Pentacles are like lifting up. So that's how I would interpret that, as possibly in the end. But there's a lot to consider. 5 of Cups. Look, I'm thinking. And the 7 of Cups. So he's looking at some loss. Or they're just blowing smoke up his ass. Where you see the candle and the younger.
So you think NATO is blowing smoke up Zelensky's ass?
That might be.
I'll tell you, did you do it all?
Yeah, and we end with that. Then it's just the Strength card and the Hermit card. So there's some isolation and contemplation about it. And then the 3 of Pentacles, where they're pulling up.
So I got the 5 of Cups, which is loss and sorrow. That's where they are right now, crossed by the 10 of Pentacles. And so the challenge is to have the resources necessary. At the root, I get the 4 of Pentacles. So they're still a little resistant. In the past, I get the Ace of Pentacles. In the sky, I got the 3 of Swords. I feel like this is America stabbing them. But then I did the 3 of Cups, which is friendship. So I do think that NATO is going to help support them. But the major money to NATO is America. So they're going to have to figure out ways to support him.
So that's where the negotiation is, maybe like we're trying to, and then we'll give them more support. That 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Cups that you pulled, that's always, yeah.
I do think they're going to help him, but it may not be in the way that it might be something else.
Yeah.
It may be a different kind of alliance. I don't know. NATO has a lot of Aries in its chart. And we do have Neptune moving into Aries and Saturn moving into Aries. So I think right now, maybe not, but maybe by next year, there's going to be a whole new setup there. And we know
Oh,
that even if Dumpy Pants falls by the wayside, Dance has already said that Europe is on their own, and then he goes to vacation there because he's an idiot, and he expects them what to say, "Hey, it's the vice president, yay!"
no, they're not. No, they're not.
There has to be some place on the planet that might actually clap if he gets there, but so far we haven't found it. He doesn't. Nobody claps in the blue states. Nobody claps in the red states. Nobody clapped in fact, nobody clapped in Scotland.
Right.
He got kicked off of Martha's Vineyard or Vermont. He wears jeans when he skis. I mean, they know how to
I
hurt
think
it.
wasn't he booed in Disney World or
Yeah,
Disneyland? Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah.
The happiest place on earth. Like,
Disneyland, yeah. Like if you got people in Disneyland booing at you, it's
yeah,
not good. It's not. I really do feel bad for his wife and kids. I really
I would not want to be anywhere near that kind of situation. I mean, I could not deal with that kind of pressure and antagonistic, vicious, vile. Like, I mean, you can't take you did not sign up for that.
right. And that's one of the reasons I don't think they're going to do the 25th Amendment because
No.
he's already hated, right?
Yeah. He's already hated one, and honestly, I think he's going to be the perfect segue for everybody who voted for Donnie to say, "Oh, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for this," and forget about the shitty stuff that Don did. It'll be taken over by Vance because this is not a 4-year illness. This is getting worse by the day. He is not okay, and he's not going to stay. He's not going to get better. We've been saying this. It's
Yeah.
not going to get better. It's not going to get better. Even if he's temporarily okay, there's something else that's going to occur. Trust me.
I
It's on.
think I think the faster he exits, the better off we are, because the more time that they have, I think they can. I was thinking about this. The military has something that prevents them from attacking us. It's a Latin. I'm sure somebody in the chat knows what it's called, like miscatado or something. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know this stuff. But I feel like it's almost they're defunding the military and they're funding ICE. And they don't care if you know what you're doing or not, as long as you're willing to beat heads in, right? They have ICE, and maybe there's like their plan is to put their like private army, together.
I think it'll be easier to have a response to what the protests and our cause, and there will be it won't be it'll be easier to do that. There will be I will feel like it will not just fall on deaf ears, right? Like it does now, right? We're protesting, it's no kings, it's 50-50. And it seems like every day there's something else that's just accumulating on top of the chaos. But when he's in, we're going to make him listen. He's a pussy.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
That's what he is. We're going to make him listen.
I think he's going to have to listen, honestly.
Yeah, Alexandria. I have a girlfriend in Northern California who loves Diaper Donnie, her sister, and mom says she's crazy. I don't know. I don't really have any kind of clinical knowledge to give you about what the cult sphere is like, and how once you're in the minutia of it, there's just no snapping you away, right? So there will be people that will just baffle me completely baffle me, for sure.
Mary wants to know if Donnie Boy knows that he's going to the big McDonald's in the sky. If he's aware.
He probably wouldn't have just come up with that if he's aware.
Or is he worried about it? I guess maybe. Is that something that he's concerned about?
It's such an offshoot. It's like something that was introduced very recently or a long time ago. He might be talking about a dream. That's how far away he is from reality.
Except, we say that, but our reality is getting worse and worse because of him.
I know, because of his little, side stories and stuff. So what was the question? I'm sorry.
Is Donnie worried he's going to the big McDonald's in the sky?
Oh, is he aware? Okay.
Is he aware and is he worried about it? I guess.
I think he's got some kind of plan. No, the moon. Yeah. 8 of Cups walking away. I'm going to put the moon in 8 of Cups walking away is probably like the last cards that he's going to. It looks like he's got some kind of plan. Here he is looking. He's in the chair there holding his gold.
Well, he can make. He's the best deal maker, right? Maybe he thinks he can make a deal.
That's how he's presenting himself. That's the King of Pentacles. Look at how sad that looks, man. And the 8 of Swords. This is more of a cognitive decline, you're overthinking, ruminating, perseverating. 8 of Swords is like, making
8 of Swords is like trapped in your own mind.
Decision paralysis, option paralysis. Yeah, for sure. And then the Knight of Swords. So there might be an event, the Knight of Swords, or just another story, something he says that is the Empress, an idea. So he's going to keep maybe sort of talking. And we get the Star, the Moon, and the Death card. Not the Death card, 8 of Cups, walking away.
Is that the 8 of Cups or the 9 of Cups in front of
8. It's 8. It's Jesus at the table, the Last Supper.
Oh, the Last Supper. There you go.
The Last Supper. Yeah, that's the Jesus at the
Last Supper at McDonald's.
And the card before that was the moon card. So it's going to be sort of either we're like, what? We know kind of what just happened, or it's going to be one of those verbal nightmares that people are like, all right, yeah, you can't talk anymore.
I think he's a little worried about it, but I think he's distracting himself, and he's counting his Bitcoin or whatever the hell he's doing.
His trophies.
But underneath it, I get the Tower.
Yeah.
And in the sky, I get the Devil. So he's probably thinking about, hey, I'm going to meet my old friend in wherever, in the bowels of hell. And then the 6 of Cups, which is in nostalgia. So I think when he does, he'll be like totally in a different like mental space.
This could be he has a history of, or the history of his whatever he's been using that has destroyed maybe his kidneys, like Adderall, or all the diuretics and stuff like that will destroy your kidneys too. That's interesting. Mm. Yeah, he's probably been thinking about it because they were like, hey, Well,
everybody's talking about it. Everybody's like, I wish he was dead. I wish he was dead. That you gotta That kind of, somebody said that to me, I would think about it.
I kind of had that question when, for maybe the end of the big, beautiful obituary.
Big, beautiful obit. Well,
I'm waiting for it like every day.
I know if that happens, Ona's going to send me a little thing and say, dump morte. The mort report.
Oh my gosh. You know what? When I was married, we were in a bowling league and we had a death lottery every year at New Year's. We would pick like people who were going to die that coming year. And then we always we had a tally, like somebody made the tally of it, and some sick bunch of people just trying to, I don't know how even the discussion got, and then it would just turn into a yearly thing. What are we pulling cards on?
Well,
it's wants to know if Diet Coke can damage the liver. I don't know. I would think a consumption of something mostly artificial.
Diet Coke runs your fire in Chinese medicine. It's very bad. It runs your fire. You get like runaway fire with Chinese medicine and Diet Coke.
We know about that.
Very toxic. Very toxic.
And you might actually be thinking about that. That's a good point. Like, oh my gosh, all those Diet Cokes. When you have lung cancer, you start thinking about, wow, all those years I smoked. Yeah. I think he's having some of that kind of memory stuff. And that might be what they had to tell him. You're not going to go to heaven. Give him his Diet Cokes. Let him freaking bloat out, man.
Well, when he first won in quotes in 2016, and he was inaugurated, his song that he sang to, that he danced with Melania in the first one, was "I Did It My Way," and of course the first line of that, and now the end is near, and so I face my final curtain. That's his thing. New York, man. Why don't we just pull some cards for the week ahead, just for some advice for everybody. We already picked Persephone, the goddess of the underworld. One of the things about Persephone is that she went into the underworld a nymph and she came out a queen. So it is symbolic of the challenges that we have and the losses that we suffer create us. We become more powerful through them because we get to understand what our resources are. Got the Tower. First card up.
Uranus stuff happening this week?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Uranus is in a grand trine with that small grand trine, right? The Uranus, Pluto, trine Pluto still. Yeah, a lot of, with that configuration, things change very quickly. Like things we thought would never change could change on a dime. So he could exit this week because it seems like he's never going to leave, right? How long have we been asking when?
I'll be adding the thing a day. The Downing a day.
The Hierophant?
I got Page of Swords, the first one that flew out. So more of those little side stories, I think.
Well, that could be a whistleblower too.
Ooh.
Right?
He's blowing bubbles. Is that the
Page of
Swords?
Page of Swords. Okay. Oh yeah, little information bubbles coming out.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
5 of Cups. I think we're kind of tired of the consumption a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a little oh, I'm so sick of this emotional roller coaster over consuming thing. King of Wands and the Hermit.
That's J.D. Vance, maybe.
Does it look like him?
Kind of does, you know. If
Got a little
maybe a
beard?
little more smoky eye, maybe.
Looks
Maybe
like
you
that
could.
Fanoni guy, the guy that was the January 6th. He's got a YouTube channel, Michael Fanone.
Oh, I
Looks like
love him. Yeah,
he got
yeah.
something to say or he's in trouble. Watch that channel. He's interesting.
He is. I like him. Yeah.
Yeah. And he will yell at you, just so you know, get yourself ready for that. Like he talks like he's gonna yell like like you're in a
Well, he's
gym or
Italian.
something.
He's like everybody I knew in Jersey. For goodness sakes, I mean,
He's,
he might as well be my cousin. You know
he's
what I'm saying?
intense.
He's intense.
Yeah, they're intense. So, you know, if you're like, I probably could never sit through a whole, I don't know how long, but a short or something where he's an interesting person. I enjoy watching him. Four of Wands. That's a home energy. And
I got
Virgo is that kind of stay homey. You're sort of stay home energy. Tell me about the week ahead, Vicky, because I need some help.
So I started with the Tower, crossed by the Hierophant, right?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Disruption, right? Like some shocking incident, crossed by the Hierophant. I don't know, as a crossing card, right?
I
Um,
would say like a pope story if that was coming up maybe.
oh, could be. Yeah, he might come up in conversation.
Pope
At
might
the
come up.
root, I got the Four of Wands,
Good, good,
which
good.
which is a good. That's good. There's a good foundation. In the past, I got the Page of Cups, a message. In the sky, I got the Two of Swords, which is a bit of a stalemate. So maybe not a whole lot of action after something shocking happens, and then the Ace of Cups at the end.
Ooh.
So I think it's going to end up by the end of the week. It whatever happened at the beginning or what might have seemed like something that was destructive or difficult may end up being something good. You know what I mean?
It might, and just so you know, and I'm going to cover it in the morning with giblets too, but all next week, our cups is our cups energy, starting
Okay.
with Ace of Cups tomorrow to the Eight of Cups. So if these cards came up a lot, that Eight of Cups, that Ace of Cups, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Four of Cups, Wednesday the 27th. I have circled, and I don't know why.
Wednesday. Hold on, let me look. Let me look. Let me look.
I must have gotten lost or had backtracked and then came back, and I don't know why I circled it. But
I must have got lost. I must have got lost somewhere down the road. So are you talking about Wednesday the 27th?
I have it circled.
We have an opposition to Pluto. It's a very this coming week is very active. There's a lot of Venus activity this week. Venus is gonna go through the gauntlet of the transpersonal planets. And then there's actually a sextile between Uranus and Neptune. And this is one of the first times those two planets made a Ptolemaic aspect since 1993. So something that happened in 1993 is going to be talked about this week.
Interesting. 93. That was kind of like the height of the AIDS time, too, where they started getting medications for AIDS patients that really made them sick, but let them live a little bit longer. That's interesting. We'll see. We'll find out. You guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your questions and listening to us. I hope you had a laugh or a few. If
We
you
hope we
did,
didn't freak you out more than you already freaked out before you got here.
if you didn't, just imagine me like halfway out the window trying to hold on to my phone, getting a picture in my robe, like Gladys Kravitz looking up yesterday. I mean, what? I can only like just hover above and think this is just a joke. I did put pants on. Thank
All
you.
right,
Thank you.
guys. Take care. We love you. We'll see you next week.